I'm the original New Jersey Ammit on the page. I'm that guy. I'm here to talk about Eli and Tony Romo. We'll do it real quick. You're gonna hear some background noise. You know, we got everyday life stuff going on over here. You know, kids running around, all that kind of stuff. So you got to bear with it. Eli Manning is a better quarterback than Tony Romo, and these are the reasons why. First of all, I want to preface this with I hate the Giants. I don't like the Giants. I don't like the uniforms, bland ass uniforms. All right, I don't like any of them. I respect them. You know, 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, 4 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowls, whatever they got. They have to be respected. Tony Romo last season, 31 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,100 plus passing yards, and a quarterback rating of 102.5. That's not a bum. So first I'm going to address you idiots out there that are calling Tony Romo a bum. That's not what a bum does, okay? In a league where the talent is so evenly matched, late game mistakes determine whether you're going to whether you're going to win a game, whether you're going to the playoffs or whether you're staying home. 10 interceptions tells us that Tony Romo doesn't throw a lot of picks throughout the season. But let's figure out how many of these 10 picks come at crucial points in the game where he just continually cost the Dallas Cowboys games. Romo apologists will blame the defense, all right? Well, here's why it's not the defense. Here's why it is exactly on Tony Romo why the Dallas Cowboys haven't been to the postseason the last 2 seasons, and exactly why Eli Manning is a better quarterback, all right? Out of my quarterback, I want clutch. I don't need 378 yards passing through a whole game and then late game picks, late game fumbles, late game rookie mistakes when you're in your 6th year. I don't want that from my quarterback. Eli Manning does not do that. I'm going to walk you through this. In 2006, the Seattle playoff game. To this day, idiots are still bashing Romo for dropping that snap. Shit happens, okay? Because he played lights out in that game. An undrafted free agent, first playoff appearance ever. He played lights out, and Terrell Owens dropped about 3 balls in that game where the Cowboys would have kept the ball, kept chains moving, because that's what the NFL is about. Late in games from your quarterback to keep the other offense off the field, you have to keep chains moving because there's no defense in the NFL that's going to hold Eli Manning and those guys down for a full 4 quarters. Or half the offenses in the league because you can't touch wide receivers or anything with all the rules changes. You can't even breathe on a quarterback. Big-time QBs keep the chains moving late in games. No matter what. That's what Eli Manning does. Punctured lungs in week 3 coming back on the road versus San Francisco does not impress me. You're a tough guy, Romo. Get us in the playoffs. I'm the biggest Cowboy fan on earth since 1981. And Romo's my guy, but he's not a better quarterback than Eli Manning. Let's go to the 2007 Giants playoff game. Again, Romo played lights out. Again, T.O. dropping balls all over the place. They had a wide receiver, and I want to say his name is Billy Davis. That Romo hit this guy on a slant right between the numbers. That he'd still be running today if he caught the ball for a touchdown. 5 years later, he'd still be running. Drop pass. Romo running for his life that game. Strahan, Umanora, Tuck, chasing them down. He's putting the ball on these guys' hands, and they're not making plays for him. That's not Romo's fault. So before I get any further into this, the Romo is a bum and he stinks, and it's not even close that he's as good as Eli. You guys can go somewhere and fly a kite because you don't know what you're talking about. You understand? Let's go to the Jets game last year. Here's the Romo apologist. You'll yell at me. He threw for 342 yards that game. That's what he did that night. You know what he also did that night in a close game? What's up, little guy? Hey, man. You know what else he did in that game? Late in the game, he didn't protect the ball. diving, whatever he's doing, fumbling. Nobody touched him. He's fumbling in the fourth quarter. The late game pick, the Revis, he threw right at him. And what are you going to Revis' guy for anyway in the fourth quarter? Dumb mistakes that rookies make. He still makes them. He makes a plethora of big-time plays. But what does it matter in these tight games where the talent is so evenly matched in the NFL that that's what wins and loses games for teams, is the quarterback making stupid mistakes. He's still doing the same shit he did back in 2007, 6, 8, or whatever rookies do. He's still doing it. Eli don't do those things. All right? Let's go to the Detroit Lions game. Up 27-3, third quarter, he throws 2 pick sixes. Now it's 27-17 going into the fourth. Momentum on Detroit's side. The Dallas crowd starting to boo. They're getting restless. And Romo apologists want to blame Garrett because he didn't run the ball coming out of the third quarter. Wait a minute. If Romo's an elite quarterback, guys, like you say he is, on Eli Manning's level, and I say Eli Manning's level because he's a multiple ring wearer. And in those Super Bowls, he was the reason they won. Don't tell me about the Giants got a better team. If Romo's the elite guy you say he is on Eli Manning's level, why can't they pass the ball with a 27-3 lead? Why can't Garrett trust them? Garrett trusted him that game. That's why we kept passing the ball. In this NFL, 27-3 in the third quarter with Stafford and that freak running around playing wide receiver, that's not a safe lead. All you got to do is get that 27-3 to 27-17. By the time the fourth quarter comes, you're down 10 entering the last stanza. You're in the game. You don't start running out the clock coming out of the locker room for the second half, you dummies. Garrett's fault. That's Tony Romo's fault. Eli Manning don't do things like that. Let's move along to the first Giant game of the season last year. Dallas up, I believe it was 13, about 6 minutes left. All Romo has to do is keep the chains moving. Get first downs. Don't let Eli and them even come back on the field. Dead the game. That's what championship quarterbacks do. No defense in the NFL is going to hold Eli, Cruz, Knicks, and whoever else they got over there down for a full 4 quarters. That's the best deep passing team in football, and Eli Manning is the best deep thrower in football. He's deadly accurate. That's what they do. They bomb you. So not only did he not keep the chains moving and the Giant offense off the field, all right, then he went on to overthrow Miles Austin on a, it was no doubt about it was going to be a touchdown. He overthrows him by 10 to 15 yards. That's the defense's fault too, right? No. Let's go to the second game of the season versus the Giants. The second time they played, the last week of the season, to get into the postseason. Dallas spotted them a 21-0 lead. Romo hits Robinson twice, 21-14. Here we go, third quarter, driving on their side of the field, ready to tie the game up. He hits a Giant linebacker right between the freaking numbers. That's the defense's fault also? Eli Manning doesn't do these things. And he fumbled that game, turning the ball over, leading to a Giant score early in the first half. In this NFL, the talent is so evenly matched that these mistakes cost teams games. They cost teams spots in the playoffs. Eli Manning has over a half a season's worth of playoff games. 10. He's won 70% of them. Tony Romo doesn't even have a playoff resume. He got 3 playoff games. Eli has 10. He's 7-3, 2 rings in 5 years. Romo. How's Romo better than Eli Manning? Eli Manning's 73 because don't tell me the talent. Oh, the Giants, the talent of this and that. Hey, what are you doing banging everything around over there? 7-3 in the playoffs, Eli is. If you want to be honest, you can't even compare the two. How do you compare a quarterback that's 73 in the postseason to a guy that's 1-2 in the postseason? Because both teams are equally matched. The difference in these games is Romo doing stupid shit late and Eli doesn't. That's the difference in these games. 2 rings in 5 years. Discussion over. There's no debate. And I don't like the Giants. And it pains me even to say anything like this. However, the better question might be this. Bobby Freusland posed this earlier when Detroit made the post about who's the better quarterback. He brought up maybe the better question is who are the better coaching staffs? Because Romo was in a bump. Let's put Eli Manning over there with Wade Phillips for 4 years. The worst thing that ever happened to Tony Romo was Parcells leaving. Looking over here to see if I missed anything. I have to do this real quick because we only do like 15 minutes or whatever to get the video up or it can't be posted. So, but Romo can't do it by himself. Romo, not one player can win the Super Bowl for a team. Not one. Okay, well, guess what? My guy Josh Chapman said it best. Single players don't win a Super Bowl by themselves for a football team, but a single quarterback could put that team over the top. Eli Manning, or cost their team a chance to even be in the Super Bowl. Tony Romo. But forget about a chance to be in the Super Bowl. Tony Romo cost us chances to even get into the playoffs. Eli Manning, 2 rings in 5 years. They're getting ready to try to repeat. Dallas hasn't sniffed the playoffs since 2009. We're the Cowboys. Can we get to the playoffs at least? Can we get a wild card berth, Tony? Or you Romo apologists? Well, Eli's defense, they won the Super. No, Eli Manning was the difference in them 2 Super Bowls. Forget the Tyreek catch on the top of his head. How about the play Eli made the spin out of that tackle and even make the throw? Or the pass to Manningham right there on the sideline. Deadly accurate. That was a Joe Montana type pass. Not saying that Eli's Joe, but that's the accuracy Eli brings late in games, Super Bowls. Not week 3 versus the Niners with a punctured lung. With a comeback, good for him. He's tough. Can we go to the playoffs? I'm a Cowboy fan since 1981, and we deserve better. And Romo's not better than Eli Manning. I don't care if my quarterback's a better athlete. Win games. What you looking at, little dude? You got the car? I don't care if my quarterback's an athlete. Get us in the playoffs. Troy Aikman wasn't no numbers guy, but he knew how to win games. He knew how to put the ball on the money when he needed to put the ball on the money. Enough with comparing this Aikman or anybody could have played on that team. Bullshit. Tony Romo would have played on that team and did the same stupid shit he does now. Would have been throwing stupid interceptions, dropping the ball, fumbling, doing the same things rookies do. But you're not going to get on here and tell me that Tony Romo's a bum when last year he threw for 31 touchdowns and 10 picks. That's a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's lights out football. But he does do stupid shit that Eli Manning doesn't do, and that is the reason why. And these are the reasons why Tony Romo is not in Eli Manning's class. Period. Till the next time.